Hey Argos fans, Daniele Franceschi joining you again for the Argos Admirals, and it is now finally official. The Toronto Argonauts have booked their spot in the 100th Grey Cup playoffs. Saturday was a huge victory for the Argonauts in Saskatchewan, getting the job done. 31-26 the final in that one. Came right down to the wire. A lot of controversy as well towards the end of that football game. Got a little bit chippy. Obviously, of course, I'm sure many of you guys have seen it already. The Brendan Isaac helmet-to-helmet hit on Darian Durant. There was no flag on the play, and we have yet to hear from the league office regarding that issue. So we will find out if Isaac will get fined or will be suspended for that hit. Regardless, we should be looking for it maybe about midweek, I would say. But considering the Argos have a short work week this week, Thursday night, that's right, we're finishing off our regular season at home in the Dome, back out of that cold, thankfully, and we're taking on our rival, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Ticats coming off a big win in their final game at Ivor, win 28-18 against Winnipeg this past weekend. The Tiger Cats still have plenty to play for this week, although last week things were looking very, very down for the Ticats squad heading into their final game at Ivor win. Potentially, even with a win, still maybe not being able to stay alive in the playoff race. However, Edmonton did lose yesterday afternoon, on Sunday afternoon, 28-26 against Montreal, and therefore we head into the final week with one playoff spot left up for grabs, two teams fighting for it, and the Toronto Argonauts have the opportunity to knock out their division rivals this week if they can finish off the season series strong against the Ticats. Remember, the last time these teams met was the Labor Day Classic, the back-to-back where they played on Labor Day, and the following week in Toronto, the Argonauts won both of those games. Another victory here would give them the season series of 3-1, and the Argonauts would have plenty of momentum heading into their playoff matchup at home on November the 11th. We hope to see you all there, of course. And more so, we're going to look into this matchup at great length, beginning with two key quarterbacks that were the two marquee men moved during this offseason, and those men were, of course, Ricky Ray and his counterpart, Henry Burris. They renewed their rivalry, but this time in different uniforms. Burris being traded from Calgary to Hamilton, and then, of course, Ricky Ray being traded from Edmonton to the Boatmen. And these two quarterbacks have played fantastic this season. Ricky Ray in his last two games has thrown 8 touchdowns with only one turnover. That's right, one interception, that is. One turnover, so he's been fantastic in the last 2 games since coming back from the injury. As for Henry Burris, he's tied a career high in touchdowns with 39 touchdown tosses. He's over 4,000 yards. So is Ricky Ray. Should be a shootout. We don't know how much Ricky Ray is going to play. If the Argos are going to rest their starters, or if they're going to play them for the first half, or we don't know that scenario just about yet. Due to the short week, Scott Milanovich and his staff have a lot of work to do within this short span in between games. So the Argos were right back at it today at practice. We'll be at practice yet again tomorrow, and we'll continue throughout the week, obviously leading up to Thursday's finale, and looking forward to the playoffs. They obviously don't want to put anything in jeopardy as for their players injury-wise. So definitely just more siding on the error of caution for the Argonauts, hoping to just make it through Thursday's game, although there is that opportunity for them to knock out the Ticats. But for the Ticats, in their perspective, that final game at Ivor was fantastic for them to win that game, send it off in style. However, this week, they're facing an Argonauts team that has had their number this season, and the Ticats have to also hope that Edmonton loses, and they must win. So regardless of what happens with the Argos and Ticats, if the Ticats even do take care of their own business and beat the Argos this week, well, Edmonton still has things in their control, because with the victory, they will lock the final playoff spot regardless, and will make that trip over to Toronto, pending obviously a Saskatchewan win. Because if Saskatchewan loses and Edmonton wins, well, then we might even see the Riders come to Toronto, but likely it will be Edmonton coming to Toronto in that November 11th playoff game. So there's plenty on the line this week for both the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Edmonton Eskimos. This matchup has, although it's the final game of the regular season, it still has plenty of playoff implications. Although the Argonauts have finally clinched their playoff spot after having 2 goes of it, they finally got it. But still plenty to look forward to Thursday night. Expect for the Argos to have still big intensity level, trying to still carry that momentum into the playoffs. We don't want to go in on a losing note. Always good to go in on a winning note, especially after breaking the streak in which we had lost 3 consecutive games at home. It's time to get a home win to end the season off right and go into that playoff game on a good note, of course. For the Argonauts standouts, Chad Owens retained the CFL's league lead in receiving yardage. He's back at the top ahead of Weston Dressler, who struggled last week against the Argonauts. The Argonauts did a tremendous job against him and limiting him and how he impacted the game on Saturday afternoon as well. The Argonauts look to reestablish the run even more. We saw a little bit of integration back into the run game. Still limited carries for Chad Cackert. It's surprising considering he's played well when he's had the ball in his hands. This might be the opportunity because the last time he faced the Ticats, he had a huge day. That was back on September the 7th, Saturday afternoon game at the Rogers Center. He was fantastic. He had 3 touchdowns, so he was fantastic in that game. For the Ticats, they're going to definitely need to step it up. They have a lot on the line this week. They're going to be ready to play. So the Argonauts, obviously, they are looking to stay away from risking any injuries or risking any true value to this game, but they still need to play with a sense of urgency because, like I said, we cannot go in on a losing note. Definitely need to win, keep the momentum going, and it would be great to see those Hamilton Tiger Cats not make the playoffs, wouldn't it? For the first time, it would be fantastic to see that team struggle. Although, final year of Ivor win, it was great to see them win, that's fine, but that's over with now. Thursday, the big game for us and for the Ticats. It's time to put them to bed. Let's put their season to bed, go into the playoffs on a high note, and be ready for that November 11th playoff game. Tickets are now on sale, by the way. If you want more information about all the festivities that will be happening for that playoff game, please visit argonauts.ca, of course. And you can also get your tickets online on Ticketmaster for those interested. We hope to see you guys there, of course, at the Rogers Center on the 11th. But more importantly, let's look to the closeness of this week. Thursday night, 7:30 kickoff, Rogers Center. We hope to see you all there, Argos fans.